Call the honourable member for Petrie.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, my question is to the Assistant Minister for Defence. Will the Minister update the House on how the government's fair indexation of military superannuation will assist retired ADF personnel and their families in my electorate of Petrie? Are there any risks to the introduction of this measure?
I call the honourable Assistant Minister for Defence.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, and I thank the member for Petrie for his question and acknowledge his long-standing support and advocacy for the veterans community. Madam Speaker, consistent with our election commitments and consistent as a government that does what it says and says what it does, last Thursday we introduced the Defence Force Retirement Benefits Legislation Bill, or the Fair Index Bill 2014. And can I say it's been a long time coming in justice for our veterans. And it's a proud government that was able to introduce this bill on behalf of 57,000 DFRB and DFRDB members and their families, including 1,234 members and their families in the members' electorate. This side has long recognised the unique nature of military service, and we have maintained a consistent and principled position both in opposition and now in government on the need to fairly index DFRB and DFRDB superannuation pensions. This is something we committed to in the 2010 election and the 2013 election just gone. The legislation is clear proof that we will stand up for those that stand for us. Now, the member also quite rightly asks, are there any risks to enacting this policy? And the simple answer is yes. The entire risk matrix sits opposite us in the intransience of the Labor Party. We know that in 2007, Kevin Rudd and the Labor Party promised veterans a generous superannuation system. They were the words that were used. Instead, they spent 6 years, the entire 6 years of their government, entirely defending an excuse to deny veterans and their families indexation. In fact, their road to Damascus moment came a mere week from the election when Mike Kelly's seat under threat. They rushed through a half-baked veterans indexation policy. Not once, not twice, but on 3 separate occasions, those opposite voted against the coalition as we attempted to legislate for the fair indexation of DFRDB and DFRB schemes. Labor even commissioned its own report post-2007 election to substantiate and justify its backflip. It would have been helpful too. It would have been extremely helpful if there had been a 2013 Labor veterans policy, but all we had was the Mike Kelly abridged veterans DFRDB indexation half-baked scheme. So I say to the Leader of the Opposition, are you going to stand in the way? 5,438 members and their dependents in WA are waiting right now to know, Leader of the Opposition, are you going to stand in the way? 5,438 people want to know, will you stand up for the fair indexation, and so does the rest of the country.